What does the security experts say about the danger of this world compared to 10 years ago?
The difference is we can no longer afford to live in a world where we simply hope that nothing will happen and then solely rely on the first responders to save us once something does. We need more than ever to begin to participate more and more in our own security, because I think one of the things that we are going to see is, especially as we enter into the dog days of summer, is this crime rates really begin to rise. And if we are not actively participating with our friends, with our neighbors, with our fellow citizens, even our countrymen, we will find ourselves in a devastating decrescendo that we will not be able to climb back out of.
Spencer, what does that mean, getting involved with friends and neighbors? Because the average person right now, they're watching this and they're like, oh, it's easy for Jesse to say. It's easy for Spencer to say. I'm sure he's got an arsenal at home and all this training. I've never touched a gun. What do I do? What does the average person at home do when it comes to friends and neighbors? What do they have to do with anything?
Well, I think one of the things we learned in the military was how to recruit local assets, how to, someone may not see everything, but everything is seen by someone. And especially whether it's using the Nextdoor app, or whether it's sharing the feeds of your Ring camera, or whether it's, I had someone try to break into my house just a couple days ago, and within hours, our entire neighborhood was sharing the footage, and that allowed the cops to catch the guy within, 90 minutes. He was half a mile down coming off of someone else's property. But what we really want to do is not just look out for it's very easy when we're coming out of this quarantine, this pandemic, to think of ourselves as being in bubbles. But as we get out into the world, as our return to normalcy begins to grow and grow, it's important that also does not accompany it with a return to complacency, where we just assume that, oh, look, there hasn't been a school shooting in over a year, and now all of a sudden look at what we're seeing. We need to recruit local assets. We need to use our environment to our advantage. And we want to do our part to make our community safer, because that collective participation will really help to ensure the certainty of safety for everyone involved.
Why do you think it's going to be a rough summer? I mean, I don't disagree with you, but obviously the practical things people can do are in your book. But why are you predicting a rough summer?
Because our tolerance threshold is at an all-time low coming out of this year-long quarantine, isolation, pandemic. Interpersonal dynamics are a perishable skill. And we have all gotten so used to communicating online, communicating via Slack or Zoom or what have you, that our way of communicating with one another in a digital realm is completely different than how we would interact with one another on a interpersonal realm. We saw that poor 6-year-old boy get shot in California over a week ago, for the mother just simply, flipping someone the bird, something she's probably done 1,000 times before without consequence. But now with everyone's anxiety and anxiousness, really very high, and the threshold for that tolerance at an all-time low, the exacerbation point is at a critical tipping point. And I really think that the heat, and if there's another, stressor put onto the environment, it can really, it could really light that spark of the powder keg that's been waiting to blow for a long time.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.